Ed, thanks for joining us today, mate. Much appreciated. Thanks for coming up.
Appreciate the invite.
Firstly, tell us a bit about you. Who's Ed Gale?
So,
You weren't expecting that question, were you?
no, that's a very good question to ask, and need to think about it. So, I'm a bit of a crazy thinker, really, a bit of a dreamer, I'd say. I've got big ideas on what I want to do in both the property space and the hospitality business we're currently building, and putting the action towards building it. I like to be very active. I like my sports, I like snowboarding, I like boxing, and just generally building relationships with people as well. Yeah.
Tell us more about this hospitality business.
Yeah, so we're currently building our brand, which is Our House. So it's going to be a mixture of accommodation, office space and retreats. And it's very much about creating work-life balance for people. So we're going to incorporate the opportunity to stay in a location, a place to work, a place to rest and relax. The retreats are going to have spas and gyms in it, and essentially just roll that into a membership where travelling professionals can benefit from using our space.
I love it. I love that. Like work-life balance, how fucking important is that?
Yeah, and I think, some people will say it doesn't exist.
In fact, where does that drive come from?
Yeah, good question. That comes from me never finding it myself.
Yeah.
And it's a problem that I've wanted to solve for myself. I believe that many other people have the same challenge. I think the way the world is, everyone's working remotely, on the go. And I think that your routine in terms of how you live your life really helps drive success and having energy and being focused. And I think when you're working away from home, where you know where everything is, you know where your gym is, you know where to get food, you know where you're sleeping, you're setting your routine, everything's comfortable, you can operate at a high level. And when you travel, you lose that. So it's very much about helping bring that to people when they're working away from home. And it's very much driven from my own experience of just being in the corporate world and living out of hotels. I love training myself. I like looking after myself in terms of eating well. And I've always found that if I'm working away from home for a number of weeks, then that just goes out the window, combined with a busy work life. So I think if you can bring that together and help people live that lifestyle, maintain their lifestyle and their routine while working away from home, I think that'll be a special thing. So that's very much what I'm trying to bring to the table.
Your private chef thing, I fucking love that. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so...
and how many other people do you know in the space that's doing that?
Yeah, interesting. I suppose I probably don't know anyone who's very much pushing it as a big thing. I think that people do it. I think it's a good offering to have. I think it's something that I see as bringing people together. So if whether it's a corporate group staying or a family staying, having someone cook for you and deal with the cleaning up and the chore side of it really helps people enjoy the experience of coming together. And obviously food is very much part of that experience. So I see that as an important thing to provide, and I think that'll be a service that will help.
Yeah, massively valued.
A valued service, definitely.
Yeah. So it sounds like your why becomes almost driven by your own background. So what was it that made you want to leave that world of the things you shared about, living out of a car, living out of a bag, staying in hotels all the time? What was the thing that made you go, fuck this, I'm done?
Yeah. So in terms of my career, I did enjoy it for a lot of years. I wouldn't say it was something that I loved.
And what was that career?
So refrigeration and HVAC. So I started as an engineer, moved through sort of sales and business development and sort of management roles. And just sort of I was in it for about 16 years. I left last year. You know, there's moments where it's very difficult, and there's moments where it was very rewarding. Definitely didn't hate it, but it definitely just didn't ring true with what I wanted to do, and I want to create something for myself. And there was always a time limit to it, and I think I definitely procrastinated in terms of exiting from that career.
I know.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Ages to close you, wouldn't it?
Oh God, it's literally. Do you know what? I've heard people say it who have also done the same thing, and it's like, I wish I had left that many years ago and sort of had the balls to do it. And I guess it's anything really. It's just that block in your mind. Ultimately, for me, it boils down to just in the mind and taking the step, which I did last year. And haven't looked back. It's been the best experience I could have ever hoped for, to be honest. It's been challenging. But that's growth, in my opinion. Yeah.
So tell us the main benefits that you've had. The top 3 benefits. We won't say main because we'll be here all day. Mm-hmm. The top 3 benefits that you've had since joining our training program.
Great question. There's lots of benefits, and
this doesn't need to be project. This can be life, business, whatever it might be.
Do you know what? A big one for me was sort of, yes, the accountability side, but holding us accountable for sharing our wins and challenges and recognising that and recording it. I would drive myself hard in the past and never give myself a pat on the back for ever achieving anything good. I have achieved great things going through life, but would just sort of say to myself, well, I'm not there yet, so there's no point giving myself a reward for that. And then at times you go through periods where it's tough, and I think your energy dips, and you can fight yourself out of a rut almost because you haven't taken the time to recognise the good work you've done. And I found that taking note and being more aware of, even the small wins, the daily little wins that you have, really boosts your energy, boosts your confidence, and just really helps drive that momentum. So that's a big thing I've got to say. And
you've had some massive wins recently. What was them big 3 from last week? Just from last week alone.
So firstly, raising 150k from my first time raising 150k from an investor that I do not know at all. So pitched to an investor on the Monday, had funds in the bank by Thursday. So that was definitely a big win. I'm just trying to think of the other 2 that I must have mentioned.
There was Tyler saving, and then another 10k.
Yeah, definitely. So
I remember your wins for you, innit?
Yeah, no, that's great. There's a million things buzzing around my head at the minute with the project. So yeah, massive win with the flooring company we're using. So just sort of renegotiated the work they're doing for us. So they've included for laying the LVT in the hallway downstairs as well, which means I now don't need to tile that. Plus I've had a saving from them, and they're doing more work for us. So that was a massive win, just getting a better deal there. And
it's not just the money, is it? It's for me anyway, it's not just the financial win. You've also got the confidence that it puts in you to have that conversation even to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I've also sort of reflected on recently is similarities in sort of the corporate world I've come from and what I'm doing now. And I very much value building relationships with people and just having straightforward conversations, no fluff, build trust with people. And I think that goes a long way. And I've seen that sort of happen, and I've subsequently built a very good relationship with the flooring guy and the tiler that I've used, and all the trades. But I've now seen benefits like big savings going forward with the project, which is mega. Mega.
Good. So share this project that you're doing now. Just share the high level numbers on that.
Purchase price was $395. About 20k in fees. The spend is going to be between 250 and 300. I think we're going to do it probably 275, around that number.
And your original estimate was?
So we were about 250 is what we hope for. There's more than enough margin to...
so you're going to be about 10% over in the spend?
Yeah.
And what's that come down to, do you think?
I would say that's very much the age of the building and just sort of certain items, unforeseen items that have come up that hadn't properly been costed for. Different specs of materials, having another half that likes to do the design and spend the money and change things as we go.
And the end value?
And the end value, I would say comfortably an 850, 900k house at the end of it in the current market. I think there's potential for growth there as well. It's
and an ongoing business as well.
And an ongoing business, yes. We're probably looking at we'd average around £1,000 a night throughout the year. So high season, you probably get about 1,500, low season around 700 a night, something like that.
So what's the average revenue going to be for the year?
Yeah, so probably estimate about 250k, something like that. Yeah. So it'll be a nice one to bring on board in the portfolio. Yeah.
Nice. Pay for that fucking private chef.
It will do.
Yeah. I want you to think back now over the last 18 months we've been working together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What one thing would you say stands out the most as your biggest learning, and that might take some time to think about? Because I know how your brain works.
So biggest learning throughout the 18 months. I think it's simple. I think it's the fact that I can just do this.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that I have the ability to do it. There's many things that I've learned since being part of this group and going through your training courses, but I think the one that opens the door to everything is the self-belief that it can be done. And the project I'm doing now is much bigger than anything I've done before.
Massive numbers.
Yeah, no, financially and the complexity of the complexity of the project as well. You know, the building's 160 years old. It's fully back to brick. The only thing we haven't done is extended it. But other than that, you know, everything's been done back to brick and full refurbishment throughout. So it's a project that if without the training, I certainly wouldn't have gone on to do my next project. Definitely not.
What's next for Ed?
Big plans this year. So we've got. So this year we want to bring on 3 more group houses. We want to secure our first co-working office space as well under the brand, and hope to have our retreat model confirmed so that we can start looking for the place and start making some inroads in Thailand. We're having some exciting conversations. We've got some people looking for land for us at the moment, and hope to have a bit of a plan. I say a bit of a plan, that sounds very loose. Have an actual plan in place by the end of the year so that 2026 we're building.
And tell me, and be honest, without going red, what is it specifically that you like about Thailand?
It's funny, everyone thinks they... I won't say it.
Look how red he's going.
Oh, fucking hell, I love it.
The food.
Food?
Yep.
Yeah, love
The
it.
pad thai, yeah?
Oh, mate, I love curries. The weather, the beach, everything. Girls.
You know Cheryl's going to watch this, right?
Yeah. Not the girls. To me, it's like a playground. I'm a kid. I really am still a kid, and I love just getting up, flip-flops on, shorts, jump on a motorbike, whiz around the island, stop here. It's like a playground to me. Yeah, I'm not sunbathing or doing any of that stuff. I'm just, living life. That's what I like.
Love it, love it. Mate, last question. What would you say to someone thinking about joining us as a training business to learn from?
Don't wait. Don't wait. Simple as that. Get in touch. Like, genuinely mean that. It's changed both the way that I view business, the way that I view property, and brought skills out of me that I didn't know I had. And just learnt so much along the way, and giving me a kick as well. You know, I think the accountability side of it is massive. I think people don't realise how much they procrastinate on things without being held accountable. So yeah, one thing to say: don't wait.
Yeah, I think people underestimate that so much. Like, I'm the same with my own coach. Like, if I didn't have that, then I know I would procrastinate. I know I would. But when someone is there kicking you up the arse, it's not only is it powerful, it's fucking needed. Like, you don't do the pots until the wife tells you to do the fucking pots, do you?
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
And then I tell her to get someone else to do it because I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.